What's the weirdest compliment you've ever been given? My 4-year-old son told me I smelled like music. When I asked what kind of music, he said, music you dance to. Still the best compliment I have received to date. Edit. Lots of people asking if he may have synesthesia. I thought that as well. However, he's 9 now, and we've had no other incidences. I asked him just now if he ever tastes shapes or hears numbers etc., and he looked at me like I had 7 heads. That I'm like a piece of furniture, don't do much but you notice when I'm not there. Because you're so fucking great? I had pink eye and the nurse was looking into the non-infected eye. You have beautiful retinas. Thank you. My friends and I were talking about what kind of potatoes we'd be. One of my best friends told me, you'd be a loaded baked potato. People pay extra for that good asterisk 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 asterisk. I certify that is 100% smooth and there is no way in beep I could come up with that on the spot. I took me a couple decades to realize guys like you are the best. Thanks, Gran. Someone told me my eyes were upside down. Not sure what that means or if was even a compliment, they seemed friendly. This one made me laugh. What does it mean? No one knows what it means but it's provocative. You look comfortable. Not as in I looked relaxed. She meant I looked comfortable to rest, lean or lay on. At first I asked if she was politely saying I was fat. She explained that I had a look about me of being someone who was comfortable to cuddle within, not hug space or covers. I took it as a compliment. I hope it was. This was a stranger I was having a conversation with during the morning train commute maybe 3 years ago. Came from out of the blue, as well. Did you get her number? Nope. I'm kinda dumb like that. I was too busy analyzing the comment to act on anything. A coworker once told me that I was a cross between Han Solo and Dr. Bunsen Honeydew from the Muppets. This was in 1998 and I still can't stop thinking about it. Who was that supposed to be a compliment? An insult. The worst part is that he was pretty accurate, actually. Not gonna lie, if someone told me I looked like a cross between Han Solo and Dr. Honeydew, I'd be so proud. That I have the most beautiful eyebrows, were even asking if I plucked them or what routine I had. By the way, I'm a guy, but NGL. I felt fabulous days after. A teacher in high school told me several times that I had a perfectly shaped head. A couple with a newborn daughter asked me how my parents set me down to sleep when I was a baby. They wanted to know how my head could be shaped so perfectly. You are so tan. How did you get so tan? I'm Indian. And GT, I'm Indian. Alright then, keep your secrets. You look like you're good with your elbows, said by a 50-plus-year-old man biking by. He then swung back around telling me I should try out for the local roller derby team. This sounds like a dad directing women to his newly out daughter's roller derby team. My baby girl is gonna be drowning in beep if I have anything to say about it. With the right makeup you'd make a really good-looking girl. I'm a guy, by the way. You could be a part-time model. Spending part of your time modeling, and part of your teaming next to me. In 7th grade, I wore a beep pack to school to hold stuff like Yu-Gi-Oh cards, which I played with at lunch. Once while walking down the hallway, an 8th grader I never met before was like, "Dude, I like your beep pack," gave me a high five, and kept walking. I never saw him again, and miraculously nobody ever picked on me about it. The piercer who pierced my ears back in August told me my ears were perfect and to call her if anyone said otherwise and she would fight them for me. I bet she says that to all the ears. During an internal ultrasound I once got told I have beautiful fallopian tubes. I've been riding that high for years. During pelvic floor PT they have the ultrasound on so you can see that you're doing the exercises correctly. When you do it correctly your cervix curls up a bit and looks like it's smiling. My PT said, "Look at that happy little cervix." Now whenever I do my Kegels, I picture my smiling little cervix. LMAU killed me with that little face at the end. From a teacher, "You're like a barbed-wired fence. Maybe something gets past you, but it leaves tattered pieces behind." Well, you're stronger than my dad, my GF, the first time I picked her up. That's not weird, dude. My father used to pick me up every time in a fun way and now I miss it. So it may be like that. My world changed forever the day I realized that I could pick up my dad. Random stranger while I was on a run. Nice neck. I'm not saying I believe in vampires, but I made sure my windows were all locked that night. If you don't invite a vampire in, they can't enter, right? The very same reason you shouldn't have a welcome mat. Your freckles are so asterisk 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 asterisk. They remind me of my sister. Asterisk freckles or beep asterisk his sister has freckles. Both of those are normal statements. Asterisk beep freckles remind him of his sister. Nah, that's messed up. You remind me of a swan. Large, white and a psychopathic attitude. 50% chance it'll either attack you or try to beep you. You look ominous, the mailman said to me while I sat on the curb reading Time magazine waiting outside my apartment for the mail to arrive. A lot of people try very hard to look ominous and can't do it. I was a pale 6 foot tall, 130-pound white guy in a t-shirt and shorts. People need to try harder. When I went to the doctor they were training a nurse. They were about to draw my blood and the older one poked at my veins. She said I had nice bouncy veins, so they're easy to see and draw blood from. Bouncy veins are awesome. If you're in the medical field you would know. I have very vascular forearms and I feel so tickled every time nurses look at my arm and go, ooh, nice veins. It's like I'm helping them have an easier part of their day without having to really do anything. I even had a couple of nurses playfully argue who would get to poke me when I was giving blood. Cheeky smiley face. I work retail and was told this by a customer, "You're so nice. You must have been bullied in high school." Edit, because people asked. I was in fact bullied in high school. I'm in college now and since it's online, the only people bullying me is my family. Fair though Jesus, my top-rated comment is probably my lowest effort. She wasn't wrong. You'd look great in an off-shoulder dress. I'm a guy, but if I ever want to start wearing dresses, I know I'll choose off-shoulder ones. They meant to say you have ice clavicles. Way to give the guy the cold shoulder. One evening about 12 years ago I was on a bus headed down to the financial district in NYC. I can't remember why we were on a bus instead of taking the subway, as I rarely took buses over the subway. Anyway, there wasn't many people in the bus and every passenger was able to sit in a seat. Directly across from where I was sitting was an elderly Asian woman. She sat there smiling at me for a couple minutes. I wasn't sure if she was smiling at me or just in my direction, so I just smiled back at her. When we reached her stop, she came up to me and said, "You are even more beautiful than Meryl Streep." I was so flattered but also tickled. Meryl Streep is a good 35 years older than me. I never thought of her as a beautiful woman, but that didn't matter because someone did. And they thought I was beautiful too. Considering they were an old lady, they may have thought of a younger Meryl Streep. Lol. You speak very good English from a native English speaker to me. I'm from Connecticut. I better speak English well. I an 18-year-old male at the time was catcalled while walking up the street. The assailant screamed, "You have very good posture, lol." Edit. I had actually been involved in a pretty serious car wreck months prior and had been working on my posture with a physical therapist to address whiplash-related pain. Gotta engage those abdominal muscles just